Please join me in welcoming TAPS founder and president, Bonnie Carroll.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our family dinner. Thank you for being with us. The Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors was born out of love, has been built with care, and today is recognized as one of America's leading military charities. The support represented in this room is evidence that our nation honors and remembers those who have served and those who have paid the ultimate price for freedom. I founded TAPS in 1994 following the death of my husband, Brigadier General Tom Carroll, who was killed along with 7 other soldiers in an Army plane crash. Still to this day, 24 years later, TAPS continues to provide critical services that cannot be found and are not addressed anywhere else. They complement so beautifully what the government provides for surviving families in the administration of financial benefits and the rendering of final honors. For more than 2 decades, TAPS has teamed with the military, coming into the lives of the newly bereaved, often on the day they receive the knock on the door that will forever change their lives. We are there with immediate resources to meet needs outside what the government can provide, offer the kind of comfort only a trained peer can give, and be a presence that lets families know they are not alone in their grief, nor will they ever be again. TAPS is in every town and every city across America. We leverage the very best resources in every community in this country, the best grief support, the most effective care. Our casework team works miracles every day. With the support of many of you here in this room, we're able to fund emergency financial needs, meet critical medical expenses not otherwise covered, ensure a free education for all surviving children, and help families access benefits and entitlements. That was great. It is awesome. Thank you. And we work hard to help families access benefits and entitlements in an often very complex bureaucracy. We measure our success by impact, and we carefully track every service, every program, and every outreach. We know through surveys and research that what we do works, that we are connecting with survivors with the resources they need. We are transforming helplessness into hope, and we are giving meaning and purpose to the life of someone who so richly deserves our care. We're creating experiences and making new memories while honoring and remembering our heroes. And we're blessed to have partners who understand just how important this is. Over the years, TAPS has grown. And as the military mission has changed, we have flexed and expanded to meet the needs of surviving families whenever and wherever a death has occurred. TAPS now represents over 75,000 grieving military family members. We set extraordinarily high standards for ourselves and for the services we provide. Services that are often rendered in the quiet hours of the early morning when a grieving mom calls the TAPS National Military Survivor Helpline, hoping to find someone who will understand her grief. Or when a widow receives a message from TAPS on the anniversary of her husband's suicide and knows someone else remembers his life, not just his death. When a grieving dad gets a note from TAPS on the birthday of his son, a Marine who would have turned 21 had he lived through his deployment. One mom wrote us after getting an angelversary card from TAPS, and I want to read you a piece of it. She said, "The only people I feel who have any clue of what we're going through are in the TAPS family. Receiving the TAPS card in the mail was an unexpected surprise, and getting the text today on the anniversary of our son's death was a light in the darkness. I received it during one of my harder times, and it made me feel that someone remembered our son. And here's the most important, the most insightful thing she wrote. It doesn't matter that you didn't know him or us. I just know that you understand. We get it because the staff at TAPS is made up of survivors and military family members who are motivated to help others who are traveling down a path they once traveled. We're supported by an amazing board of directors and a board of advisors who are leading experts in grief and loss. I'd like to ask all of our TAPS staff and our board and our advisors here this evening to stand and let us recognize you all for the outstanding work that you do. Please stand up. Each of you here tonight is in some way connected to the military mission and the defense of freedom. Some of you serve in uniform, some of you support those who serve. Each of you here has made a decision to live a life that includes service to America. Tonight, we're so proud to host you at the celebration of our mission. Sitting among you are members of our TAPS family. Each one of them represents another 1,000 loved ones who are receiving constant, compassionate care from TAPS. I hope you'll get a chance to meet them and hear about the loved ones they honor and remember. You'll see the hero buttons that they wear. We wear them to encourage you to ask about our loved ones. We have wonderful stories to share. I'm going to ask all of our military survivors to stand for a moment and be recognized for the service and sacrifice they have borne for our country. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Helen Keller said, "What we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us." That's the heart of TAPS. The love we have known, the love of someone whose life included selfless service to their country, is forever part of us. Of all the services TAPS provides, I'm especially proud of our military mentors. These are the volunteers who give of their time to be there for a grieving child. We've now trained over 10,000 members of our armed forces and our veterans to be mentors. These men and women honor their battle buddies by volunteering their time with the TAPS Good Grief camps. The bonds that have formed are profoundly transformative. Last Memorial Day, there was a precious moment captured by a tourist visiting Arlington National Cemetery who just happened upon the ceremonies in the amphitheater. I want to share this story with you. You see, this tourist didn't know much about the sea of red TAPS shirts proudly sitting together that morning, nor did he really give the group much thought. When the national anthem was performed, however, he noticed a soldier dressed in his formal uniform in the back of the group who stood with a bit of difficulty and raised his right hand in salute, clearly feeling pain as he did so. So much pain in his shoulder that his arm began shaking as he very determinedly held his salute, tears streaming down his stoic face. The visitors watched as a little child in her red TAPS shirt quietly got up next to him wrapped her arm around his waist, and using her little head to prop up his elbow, she reached up and she held his shaking hand in his salute. The tourist thought that this was such a sweet moment of a daughter helping her injured father, so he took a picture on his cell phone to share with him afterwards. But when he approached the soldier after the ceremonies, he learned that he was not the little girl's father, but he was a military mentor volunteering at the TAPS Good Grief Camp, and that this little girl was a Gold Star child who had lost her dad in the war. She and her soldier mentor had become very close at TAPS camp. They felt each other's pain at a level that went beyond superficial sentiments or polite platitudes. You see, they weren't there to make the pain go away. They were there to give each other the strength to endure the pain when it was just too much to bear, quite literally propping each other up if need be. These are the quiet moments that define what TAPS is about. It's a group of patriots who have suffered mightily, coming together to become stronger in the broken places, knowing intuitively that there are things we can't fix or change, but understanding that the things that can be done for us are best done by our peers with the support of each one of you. Tonight, we celebrate the courage of our survivors, the care of our TAPS staff, the love of our military volunteers, and the generosity of our supporters who make our work possible. We love you all. Each of you here tonight has played a role in ensuring that the families of our nation's fallen are never alone, never forgotten, and forever bonded with their tribe, their TAPS family. We are that broken-hearted band of brothers, that battalion of the bereaved with a battle rhythm of constant compassionate care, because our mission is 24/7, hitting hardest in the darkest hours of the early morning, or on Mother's Day, or Father's Day, or Valentine's Day. We are each other's battle buddies, and we have been tested under fire. We have withstood the 21-gun salute, and we have bravely and graciously taken the folded flag in our lap. We have held our children as they wept for a parent who would never return. And we have put our arms around a mom and dad now burying their only child. Some of you are familiar with the tradition that we have at our TAPS family dinners. I know all of our survivors in the room are. We ask everyone to hold hands around their table and connect just for a moment. And I'd like to ask you all to do that now, if you would. And we offer this simple prayer of 6 words given to us by a little child at the Good Grief Camp. Thank God for the little while. And you can let go now. Whether it was 19 years or 39 years or 99 years, the time we had with those we love would never be long enough. But thank God we had them in our lives, and we loved them, and they loved us. I believe that love is stronger than death, that the lives of those we love and remember and honor are etched not just into a granite marker on a grave site, but carved into our soul, imprinted on our hearts, and woven into the fabric of our nation. They make us stronger. They inspire us, and in that way, they are eternal. As you enjoy this evening, as you go forward from this night, know that you have touched the lives of tens of thousands of precious souls who you will never know, but who will forever be grateful to you. At TAPS, we are so blessed to have angels watching over us, both here on earth and up in heaven. I first met one of our extraordinary guardian angels back in 2004, after I'd just gotten home from a year in Baghdad. He'd started a program to support the children of Iraq, something I was very passionate about, and we teamed up then to make a difference in the lives of both American military survivors and also the children in Iraq. A few years later, we were together again in Los Angeles, bringing the children of the fallen to Disneyland at Christmas. This holiday tradition would become an annual event highlighted by his passionate commitment to bring joy and hope to the children of our nation's fallen. He recognized that these children have sacrificed so much for our freedom. When this extraordinary American created his own foundation, one of the first things he did was ask TAPS, very quietly, if there were grieving families out there across the country who were in financial crisis, who were struggling to pay their rent, who couldn't put food on the table. And just without any fanfare or public recognition, he would help to meet those needs. He did what was right by those who have suffered so much. And this is something he's been doing now for over a decade. His compassion for the widows of our nation's fallen led him to create a Hollywood adventure for TAPS, bringing incredible joy to those who have suffered so much. You know this American icon as an award-winning actor, as a talented musician, and as a patriot. We know him as our guardian angel. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present the recipient of our first Guardian Angel Award to an American treasure, my dear friend, our hero, Mr. Gary Sinise.